introduce this old sexiness sitting next to me. This is the wonderful, the beautiful. This is the Aria Day, the smut sorceress. Is that how I'm saying that right? The smut sorceress. First of all, ma'am, can I just tell you something?
What?
You have your human resources, right?
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
I was like, yes, short kings, you got it. I can't do it, but somebody else can. I dated someone my height because I'm not that tall. I'm 5'5", and he might have been like 5'7", but you know they 5'7" really are 5'5".
Okay, yes.
But
Yeah.
he was
Yeah. That's
blessed.
usually how it works. The extra inches have to go somewhere.
Well, it went there, and we were happy. Lord Jesus, we were happy for a while.
That's usually how it works. I don't know what that's. I don't make the rules, but that's usually how it works.
But baby, you just get it worked until it didn't. But so let's talk about human resources for just a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So there was Brittany and Dimitri. Is it Demetrius or Dimitri?
Demetrius.
Demetrius. Because I've been calling him Big Dim.
You know what? That's still valid. He was Demi in the book, so
Baby, I call him Big Dim because Big Dim was over there stalking that lady.
subjectively.
He had a goal in mind. He waited 6 years and some change to get that lady.
But when you say it like that, it does sound a little soft.
That man stalked that lady till he got her. I mean, he wasn't bad, but he had a plan. He said, "This year is the year, and I got to on Christmas Eve. I'm gonna get her. I don't know how, but I'm gonna get her." And
He had a plan. He had a plan. He just needed a platform.
well, he got it. He got that lady. But Big Dim was over here giving good gifts. I was like, "Well, where the hell he at? Can Big Dim?" I really enjoyed that book because I'm a person. I don't have to read holiday books at holiday time. I will, but I prefer to read them when I do.
Yeah,
So
when you're in the mood for him. Yeah.
listen, I can read holiday books 12 months out the year because I like Christmas. So I thought it was really sweet. So um, big, I got a big D right here. 12 days of Christmas, 7 year wait, and that he's a short king, and she didn't care.
He didn't care. You know what though? I'm kind of a tall girly, and I don't know if y'all have seen Mr. Daze. Well, I think you have seen my husband, but Mr. Daze is also a short king. I'm topping in at 5'8.5", almost 5'9". The man is 5'7", so I got a little bit of a height on him, and it's just like when you're tall, I don't know what it is, but the short men love you. They just be like, "Oh, I love
They
climbing
want to
trees."
climb that tree.
I'm just like, all right,
Bring your name down. Y'all
you're
look the same size,
yeah, everybody's the same height length.
right? You still getting to where you got to go, right?
So
So let's talk about that. Why do you feel women have a complex with short men? Why
okay,
why do you feel like they shun them away?
I feel like it's two part to that because I think like tall men are just what's the beauty standard because men have beauty standards. We could be honest about that.
Right?
So usually, they like I'm tall, they like I'm fit. The other people like tall, dark, and handsome, which really just means they like their hair dark and their eyes light, which is strange to me, but to each their own. And so I feel like part of it is the beauty standard, and then the second part to that is that sometimes short men will lash out for their height difference because they don't meet that beauty standard. And I feel like that has really burned a lot of women away from shorter men just because you don't know what you're getting. It could be a meat box. He might be great. He might be completely confident, but somebody who hasn't done the work, they might take that out on you because they're a little on the height challenge side.
Do you feel like women are what's a good word for them? You know how when men are, you know, they're very, a lot of men are stuck on she has to be, you know, big boobs, a big booty.
No. Let me just tell you that if you ever, so I'm messy and I join a lot of messy groups. So I'm in the Is This Your Baby Daddy group. And the baby daddies that they be posting, child, I be like, I don't know where you met that man, but he looked like he snuck on Earth. So I don't think that women are necessarily beholding men to standards at the rate that people are claiming. In real life, it just doesn't work that way. Short men be out here getting it all the time. A lot of them have taller wives. So I don't think that they're really rejecting them at that rate. I think it is something that's expressed because again, it's part of beauty standard. It's just like men saying that they want somebody with a fat ass and no stomach. But a lot of times when I see men out with their partners, it's women that look like me. So
And me. And women be so self conscious about that.
they don't care. Men do not care.
Lift that stomach up and do what you do.
That they don't care. They don't care. Fat, skinny, shaved. What they don't care.
Okay, so women, stop fantasizing, but about this the because the men in the books are not what's presented to you in real life. You're not gonna find that man like that.
I think it's part of the fantasy, though. Just kind of like a little unicorn situation. Because who doesn't want somebody that's like, everything that they're quote unquote supposed to be, tall and rich and all of that. But in real life, I think that people are a lot more flexible than maybe what traditional media would represent or present.
I would say that, and the fantasy could be the fantasy, but my thing is, if certain things don't matter to you, why should it matter to you in a book? Like, I'm not saying, like, I don't mind a man with callous hands. In the book, his hands might be a little smooth. He might be very well dressed, but I like my guy sagging a little bit, just just a little bit. you
You
know,
know?
I like a man that how to fix stuff. They be in it buying people to come fix. You fix this though.
You
So
know
to
what,
me,
though?
I think that sometimes, I'm not saying anything against authors. I'm just saying I think sometimes we as the readers, we are so trained to feel like we have to have this one man, and you open up your eyes. They don't have to be light. They don't have to be dark. Their hair might be a little longer. Their hair might be a little coarser. Their hair might be, they might not have no hair. I like a good bald headed man. Girl, give them to me. Um, they might have facial hair. They might not have facial hair. Just be open to whatever the author, I feel like, is giving, because beauty by American standards, we are not beautiful. But by our standards, we are fine. You know. So I don't know. I just felt
Yeah,
like I need to say that.
I mean, I do agree. I feel like sometimes that's where the romance fatigue could come into play because it's. I'm not gonna say there's no diversity because that's simply not true. That's why we have black book talk and black everything because there is diversity. But as far as like body type diversity, it's just very rare. People are used to seeing a very particular type, and they want their man cut and tall and with a big bag, and So I just think that people sometimes get into that what's the name of this is what sells, this is what people are looking for, this is what people are talking about, and they just don't think to include diversity. Or not even that they don't think to include it, they don't think that it's going to be something that's successful out there.
How was the reception with the short king for you?
Actually, human resources did really, really well. A lot of people talk about Demi. A lot of people said that I was putting short king propaganda into the world, which don't mind if I do. I will gladly accept that. But yes, a lot of people love Demi, and I think it's because like I said, it's not that women are just like, oh my god, a short man, like treat them like a roach. I think it just really comes down to how you carry yourself, how you treat your partner. Like I said, my husband's a short king. If y'all see me when I'm at conventions, I don't do much of anything. I'm very much useless. I just sit. He brings me coffee. He sets up the tables. And it's just like he pours into me. So I don't care that he's not, six, whatever. This my man, my man, my man.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love it. I just want people to get out the idea that you have to have this type of, because sometimes not, and maybe me too, I'll be a little delusional, but sometimes we get a little delusional about, especially if you're single, that they have to have this, they have to have this kind of money, they gotta have this kind of job, or that if they are uh if they are a pharmaceutical rep, they have to have a Bentley. They 9 times out of 10, that's not what they got.
I just want to say about street pharmacists, I think that, like I said, the fantasy is great, but in real life, as somebody who grew up around a lot of people in that lifestyle, they scare me. Like,
Me too. Me
this how you
too.
live? I don't know if I, I can't do it.
Mm-mm. 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 My wild days is gone. Listen, I need stability.
I
So,
used to actually be a street pharmacist when I was younger, and I'm just like, I've never wanted a man. I've lived a lot of lives. Let me just say that I have lived a lot of lives. And so, yeah, but that has just never been appealing to me. And when I met my husband, he was so green. I loved it. I was like, "Ooh, you don't know nothing."
really?
Mhm.
Girl, okay, we're gonna dive in. We're gonna dive in. So now I'm 50% in to bury the hatchet. I can't
How
put
you
the damn book down. I was mad. I was mad. Listen, somebody called me for a meeting, baby. You talking about I was 50 watt hot? Woo-hoo-hoo! I was 50 watt hot
You
because I
know
listen
what?
while I work.
See, that's what I need to start doing. But I be wanting to like physically see the words. I
I
don't know
do.
why.
I
I
start to
so
be like this.
like this is gonna sound strange, but like when I read audiobooks, I also have like either the physical or the Kindle book.
Me too. No, no, no. I just okay. No, look. If you can see my setup, so you're on a stand right now.
Mhm.
So the book is going. So if you do Kindle Unlimited,
Which
you
I'm
can
sure most of us do because
so
we
you
have a
can do the
phone.
assisted reading, right?
Mhm.
So as I'm reading and I hear something good, I'll do like this, and I'll do like this, and then I just be reading it. And so next thing I know, 20 minutes has gone by. I'll be like, oh, I'm supposed to be doing X, Y, Z at work. So I'll do whatever I got to do real quick, and then I'll stop it, and then I'll do what I got to do, and then I'll turn it back on. And so I was like, okay, I remember that part. So let me go back. Let me keep typing, 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 and then something else catches my. I'll be like this. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
You know what though? I feel like that's most of us. Like I don't know anybody who's been like, "Oh, I don't read on the clock," because all of us got a Kindle somewhere popped up in their bag, or if we don't got a Kindle, we read on our phones. Like it. That's just the way. That's just book life at this point.
Yeah. So let's talk Bury the Hatchet. So we have Nathaniel and Andrea. And I thought it was very clever that you call him Nat and her Dre. Because I was like, who is Dre? What is he doing? Realizing that's Andrea. And I was like, why is his name Nat? Nate, listen, man, was there any rhyme or reason for that?
Chaos. I don't know. I like those little Easter egg type things in my mind. Like I do. I don't understand why, but like Candid was full of a lot of them. I feel like that's one thing I really want to get back to in my bread and butter, just like the Easter eggy things that you gotta kind of sit and think about for a while.
Because I was like, wait a minute, wait, what? What? And then, so she calls him Booger, but they call him the Boogeyman.
Mm-hmm. Because he
And
gave his name.
and he calls her baby doll. I was like, wait a minute. So wait a minute. They are in love, and is she really scared or is she not scared? Because she had no idea
He had no idea.
what kind of life he was really leading.
No.
But the dinner scene with her parents. But I tell you, I want to throw this Kindle. Isn't she said so? She's making this place. She goes, "Isn't what you sold me for to be a good one?" I was dead. I was gone.
It's a valid question. It was a valid question.
So I'm not gonna ask you no more Easter eggs, but when I tell you, I am enthralled. It will be done tonight.
Now I'm nervous.
Tonight, because I was gonna do some reaction videos, but then I'm at work and stuff was happening, so I was
It's
like,
okay.
God damn it.
Trust me, I understand. I am also a work from home girly, and it feels like it's kind of like you're there, but you're not really. But it's a little more urgent than if you were just floating about in like an office space.
When I tell you I'm about to be finished with this book tonight, because I'm 50% in, I only got 50%. I will be done probably in a couple of hours, and I'm gonna start Truth and Consequences right after that. I'll be done with this tomorrow.
I want to let everybody know that Truth and Consequences is a lot more tame on purpose, though, because then there's the end of the series, which I already have outlined, and that one is a wild ride from start to finish. So Truth and Consequences is tame on purpose.
So this is gonna be a trilogy.
Yes, this will be a trilogy.
So if one were to come into your catalog, they're new to you, where would you have them start?
I will say don't start a group trip or one for the team. That's where I do not want anybody to start. I feel like that is the wildest place to jump in. A good starting point if you do like holiday will probably be Rudy Jones' New Year's resolution. I feel like that ties in both like, the sweetness of it all, the, sincerity of their relationships, but also the spice. But yeah, one for the team and group trip to jump in is a wild ride.
That's a white choose.
Yes, those are both white shoes. Group trip is the one that just came out and it's about the friends who went on vacation together.
Where do you? I know your husband know, but where these thoughts come from? Is this from some personal experience?
I've lived a lot of lives, Nicole. A lot of lives. I've lived a lot of lives.
Cause I was like,
And you only get one life to live, and I'ma live it, damn it.
I was like, she writing this too good.
You
She
know
writing
who
too
else
good.
said that? Jaleesa. Jaleesa was like, girl, she said, I know you lived a good life.
I'm just saying, like I might have missed something. Now I've lived a life. I'm still living my life, but I've lived. People don't think I just got to 55 to and did nothing. I lived, but I don't think I lived quite this well.
you know, I think part of it is just that I am just a natural adventurer. That does like scare my husband because sometimes I just be wandering around cities that I'm not from, and he's like, "Girl, where are you?" But that's just like I'm just like, well, you only have one life to live. Do I really want to get to 85 and be like, I've only been in my town and
Right.
worn this flower? Like I don't want to do that. I want to look back on my days and be like, yeah, in my prime, I was a hot mama, and be able to relate to my grandkids or something.
So let me ask you a question, and I've been slowly introducing this question into my other list of questions. What is your idea of beauty?
I think my beauty standard is very different from the American beauty standard. And I want to start off by saying that my entire family on my dad's side is dark skinned. So I come from a lot of dark skinned women, a lot of women with my exact shape. Real wide hips, a big belly. We usually have a gap in our teeth. And for a while, I was really resentful that I actually didn't get the family gap because it closed. But yeah, that's my idea of beauty, the people who I came from. So dark skin, chubby, gap, big brown eyes. Those are the things that I look at and I'm like, wow, like gorgeous, amazing. So I just think that my beauty standard is very atypical from the American beauty standard. When I think of beautiful men, I think of men with like coarse dark hair and really rich skin and maybe like discoloration because it's very common in dark skinned people. But those are the people who I thought was beautiful growing up. And just neat fingernails and yeah, a good person. Like that's what I think was beautiful.
Is it hard to put your idea of beauty on pages?
I don't think so. You know what? I think that it may still be controversial. I do because I've had people reach out to me and say I've never, read or heard about a dark skinned woman being represented this way. And this is the year of our Lord 2025. So that's kind of insane to think about,
Right.
But I don't think that I think that's probably the easiest things I've ever done is say, you may think this is beautiful, but this is what I think is beautiful. This is what I think I want to platform.
Um, the reason why I asked that question is because you don't cast type one type of woman and you don't cast type one type of man. And I think it's beautiful that you do that because I feel like people need to understand that beauty is not in a box. It's everywhere. It's everything. It's my skin color. It's someone very pale skin color. It's someone's hair. My hair is fine. Your hair might be a little coarser. It's a mesh of everything. And I just want people within our community and outside of our community to see that we're it's just not what you think we are. We're not all popping our necks. We're not all smacking gum. We're not all cussing everybody out, even though we can. We're not all stupid. We're very smart. We're not all our pharmaceutical reps. We're everything. And I love how you describe characters because you don't know what you're gonna get with you. You know what I mean? Not no 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 not bad, but it's she has a big butt and he likes to smack it. You don't always get that. Everybody got to be thin and he can lift her up and she has no stomach and that's not always the style of beauty.
Yeah. I do appreciate that though, because I don't know, just the fabric of our lives is very different. And like I said, the people who I grew up and I thought were beautiful didn't look like American beauty standards. And then in a way, it kind of did me a great service because I'm able to, look at different people who have all those things or just vary in different ways. And I'm able to say, wow, like what a beautiful human being. And that's kind of a blessing. It really is.
But what you don't realize is I have a cousin. She's a little younger, a lot younger than me, but she's reading my recommendations. She goes down my page, or she'll go into my Kindle and she'll get some recommendations. So I had a few of your books sitting there for a while. She read it. She said, "I like this book because it helped me with my self confidence. I don't feel like I'm a fat slouch." That's
I'm gonna cry.
verbatim
I'm too soft
what
for
she
that.
said. She said, "My confidence level, I'm growing my confidence level because I'm now seeing it in books and I can read it and I can understand it. And people are cheering for this girl and applauding this young lady. And because I'm bigger and I have a bit of a belly, my butt is a little bigger, I have bigger breasts, you know, I don't feel self conscious anymore. I feel confident enough to go out and just be my authentic self." And I was like, "Girl, that's what I'm talking about."
I
But
love
she
that.
got that from one of your books. And I can't remember what book it was.
I
But
know.
she was like, "Oh, it's like my Aria Days." And I was like, "Really?" I said, "It wasn't nasty," but she's like, "They're all nasty."
Yeah. I feel like that's kind of more hard work at this point. People be like, "Girl, what do you be thinking about?" I don't know, man. Y'all can't.
Listen, a good life, it ain't vanilla. It is not vanilla. So let's ask a few more questions. Um, what does your voice? Why is it important to add your voice to the literary community?
For me, that's probably just because of like the reason I write. The whole reason I write is because I wanted to see more diversity in Black romance. And when I say that, I don't mean like, oh, traditionally published or even in independently published. I just mean in general. Like I said, I think there is just a very specific type of beauty standard that everyone tries to meet. I think there is a very specific lifestyle that people try to meet, which is like rich, easy life. But, that's not always the case. And so for me, I really wanted to talk about different things like mental health and these different body types, limb differences, and whether or not this person is a nerd or different interests. Because black people are varied. I've met some black people who have interests that I have never even heard of. One of my friends collects rocks. That is all he does with his weekend time. I think that's great, but a lot of people would look at him and say like, "It's be like, I bet you like rocks," just because they're so easy and quick to stereotype us. And so another reason is because I really like meet cutes. Like, the idea of meeting your perfect person just happenstance.
Right.
And so for me, that's really what got me into writing because it's just something so magical about seeing black people fall in love, but not in the way that Hollywood or traditional media chooses to portray us.
Um, was being an author always the goal?
You know what? Actually, no. So up until about 4 years ago, I'm very good at math. I work at a bank. I'm really good at math. I'm really good at like predictions and forecasting. And so up until a couple years ago, I wanted to be an actuary. And I've always read. I've always been a reader. I probably started way younger than most kids at like 3. I taught myself how to read because I just didn't want to wait on my parents. And so I knew that I would be a lifelong reader no matter what at a very early age. But when I probably got about 20, I don't know if y'all remember this, but there was like the short story challenge going around on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hated that. And it's not because, of this, well, the stereotypes were part of the problem, but it was just simply because it was very struggle lovey. I don't like struggle love. I don't want to hold a man down. The 21 question song instantly turned me off because what do you mean would I stand by you if you ain't smell good? Like what are we talking about? And so I read a lot of those. After probably about the fifth one, I was like, ooh, I can't take this serious. And I know it's from experience, but art models life for me. And so if this is all that you've seen, black relationships representative, maybe that's what you think that you deserve. And I was like, black women deserve so much more than, having to wash a man's dirty drawers while he's out gallivanting in the woods. So let me write something that represents that.
Do you believe in struggle love? I mean, I
No,
know. I mean, because I know that people say that urban fiction is struggle love.
I don't
Street
think that.
love.
I don't think that. I think that that is a common misconception just because usually when you see urban fiction, the men are, pharmaceutical reps or in some other field like that, but it doesn't have to be struggle love. For me, struggle love is, you know, we're barely making ends meet, but you still finding time to go drink pop bottles, which like that's crazy behavior. Or, we have to live with our parents, but you're not amending, you're not trying, you don't have any aspirations of your own. Again, that's struggle love. I don't think that occasionally being down is a struggle love. I don't think that, the men doing what they do in the streets is necessarily struggle love. I think it becomes when you're both inconsiderate of your partner, you expect them to be beholden to all these standards that you yourself cannot meet. And there is no like no urge to change that. That's when it becomes struggle love for me. Do I personally believe in that? No. I think that women give men too much grace. Men should be a little more embarrassed. They're too entitled.
Listen, I'm gonna shake my head, and I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna sip this tea because you just said it all. I feel the same way. I feel like how you supposed to be the hunter, and I'm taking care of you.
Like that's I'm not doing that. And it's just I've come from a long line of men who take care of their women. Like my great grandfather built my great grandmother a house, built it with his bare hands, and it has been continued my whole life. That's what I get modeled, and I just like. And so I look at women, and not in pity, but just like, girl, you can do so much better. And like, start embarrassing these niggas. Air it out. Like, stop. No, start embarrassing them.
Do you feel like that's all? How can I say this? Because I feel like they don't want to get a 9 to 5. They want somebody to take care of them. They have all these demands, the women, because I think it's equally shared.
Oh yeah,
And
we
they
definitely
accept
got.
these men that treat them like shit, cheat on them. And I'm not saying people are not without cheating, because I mean, every man I know has done something they wasn't supposed to do. Um, but do you feel like it's equally shared? Do you feel like the blame is placed more on men or is placed more on women? Or do
I,
you or do you feel like it's placed more on society because we've been brainwashed to feel like we have to be like these people?
um, again, this is a two-part thing. So I don't feel like the blame is placed more on men. I feel like men are have like people have an easier time accepting it for men. But what you hear about most is men doing the bulk of dirt. And when I say the bulk of dirt, cheating on their pregnant wives, going out, losing houses, just doing wild stuff. I feel like women have a lot more impulse control and they're sneakier. Does that mean that, we have women that we don't have women that, do what it does? No, that's not what I'm saying at all. But what I am saying is, I think that due to the way that women have been socialized, it's very few and far between with like the big dirt stuff. Does that mean that women are just innocent? No, I think that women are very complex creatures, and we're great at compartmentalizing. So that's something that just men have it all out in the open. Women have little pockets here and there that we visit from time to time, and that's just the way that we work. I feel like, but I don't feel like the blame is more one or the other. Like I said, I feel like the world has always been in favor of men, so they can get away with it a lot more. If a woman leaves her kids behind and pays $500 a month in child support, we're gonna hear about it. That's all we're gonna hear about for however long it's going out on. But for men, that's so common. And then when women do have the audacity to complain, they say, "Well, at least you're getting something. He's doing something," you know. So that's how I feel about it.
Okay. Well, let's move along because I could talk about this all day. Um, let me ask you a question. So society has their own definition of the Great American Novel. What do you feel it is, and do you think you have achieved it or working to achieving it?
I don't think I've achieved it yet. My definition of a great American novel is something that encompasses at least 80% of daily life for both the minority. Not I'm not really focused on the majority, but for the minority. And it's something that really encompasses all aspects of it. So grief, joy, hopelessness, achievement, just all of those things. Because I think that American life is very romanticized in media, and we think about like Fourth of July cookouts and green lawns and picket fences, when in reality that's not what a lot of us live like. I don't know. A lot of people may not know this, but I grew up in the hood. I grew up in the projects. So for me, American life looked very different from what I was seeing. And the Great American Novel to me is something that's going to represent not only the people that you see every day, but the people whose stories you're not necessarily hearing, and their struggles and their achievements and their accomplishments, even if they don't graduate to what you would assume is like, oh, I made it. You know what I'm saying? Like there are some aunties who sell chips and candy in the hood, and to them, they've made it, and that's amazing because they're there for their community. They're providing support. They are a pillar. They are strength. They're a lot of things, but other people will look down on them and say, "What have you done with your life? This is it. You don't want to do anything else." And I think that there's beauty in showcasing things like that because it's still important. It's a very important role that we have. So that's my answer.
Okay. Um, do you? I'm trying to figure out which question I want to ask. It's like 15 questions, like right here, and I was like, I want to ask them all. Um, you have 10 titles, correct? 10,
12.
12 titles under you.
Yes.
What have you learned about yourself from your first book to now?
I think I've learned that I am definitely not a visual learner. For me, I have to go through things to kind of understand why they have to be done a certain way. I've also learned that, oh my god, I am great at procrastination. Like it. Sometimes I will be so far behind. I will let myself get so far behind, and then I will just pump out like 30,000 words in one day, which you should definitely not do. If any writers are watching this, please don't do that. That's a horrible thing for your mental health. But yeah, I'm great under pressure. I think that the way that I learn is very different from the way that you should learn, quote unquote. Um, and it also has kind of taught me what's important to me. I think it has allowed me to have a lot more grace for the people in my lives, just because when you write, you have to write from all these different perspectives and understand why people do the things that they do, or else it doesn't make sense. It, comes apart quickly. And so, in doing that, and looking at my personal life experience, it really has allowed me to say, I can understand how this happened, and I'm going to allow you grace because I get it. Like, that doesn't necessarily mean that you always agree with it, but it is just, I understand. I get it.
Oh, I had a question. What's the best advice that you received thus far as an author, as being an author?
This is probably from Masterpiece when she said, your brand is your lifeline. I think that, so many people underestimate just how important your brand is, but it really is your lifeline. So, and it's your legacy. So when people look you up 30 years from now because they found your book at a resale shop, do you want your legacy to be something that is just tainted, or do you want it to be something that people can look at and rely on and depend on and be built upon? So I think that that's definitely probably the best piece of advice that I've received so far, just about interactions in general. Now, and in terms of technical, if you have an idea, write it down. There have been so many times where I have been laying in bed thinking about something. I'm like, man, this would be great in a scene. And I'll be like, okay, I will definitely remember this in the morning. And I sit down to write, and it's like, remember. I'm like, oh,
And can't.
it's gone. It's gone. It's lost forever.
Since you've been in this industry, what is one thing that you wish you could change?
You know what? I wish I could change the expectations on Black authors specifically. This is a well-known saying that you have to do twice as much work to get half as far, and I feel like that's still true. I think that a lot of us actually outperform traditionally published books with
Mm-hmm.
far less resources, and we are still given basically crumbs. So I do wish that I could change that. I think that Black authors deserve the world because not only did they overcome personal fears they might have about putting something that they created out there, but they've also overcome, publishing standards and everything else. Especially if you ever see your name on that Amazon chart, that is very hard to do. It's very difficult to do. So that's definitely one thing I wish I could change about this industry.
Uh, uh, when you first saw your name on the cover of your first book, what was that like?
It was very surreal. You know what though? I think for my first book, it was just like pure excitement and kind of adrenaline. But probably when I got to like my first bestseller, it was a very surreal experience because I didn't think that I would ever, get this far off of this thing. I thought maybe a couple people would read my book, maybe it would have helped somebody. But I think after a while, it became very, and even still, like when I was at Black Romance Book Fest or even Tulsa, it was very surreal for people to be like, "Oh my goodness, you're Aria Daze," So seeing my name on a public work, especially, is just it's kind of humbling. It is. It's also like, damn, you kind of did that, but it's a bit of both.
How do you feel when authors be like, I mean, well, not authors, but readers would be like, oh, you're Aria.
You know,
Because I did that. I was like, oh,
you did.
I did.
It's okay though. But you know what? It like I said, it's still shocking to me. Like when I was in the airport with one of my friends, people were just staring at me, and I, for the life of me, could not figure out why. Because it happens often sometimes, but it didn't happen like it's starting to become more frequent. And then they were like, "Girl, you're kind of famous now," and I'm like, "Ooh, like, hold up." Like I said, I love it. I love that people recognize me. I don't think that I'm not really a video person, so I'm really like putting my face out there. But I I don't know. It's still surreal. It's still surreal. Like me, you recognize?
How does
Like,
your husband feel about it? I mean, because he be like rolling with the punches. He be like, all right, baby, I got you.
you know what? So Black Romance Book Festival, I got stopped probably at least 6 or 7 times per hour. And by the end of day one, he was like, "I think I need to sit somewhere quiet." He said, "I love you." He said, "But that is a lot." He said, "I don't know how you are swinging with this." And I was like, just barely making it to like the 7 o'clock mark each day. But it was just, it's very overwhelming. He's already kind of an introverted person. He's a homebody. Um, he talks to maybe 6 people in general. So I think that for him, he's definitely proud of me. He tells me that every chance he gets. But it was very overwhelming. He said, "You got to get an assistant, girl."
So you're at that point because I feel like you might need one too.
You know what? I think that Black Romance Book Fest humbled me because it was so many people there, and because I did not think that I would be that recognizable and that in demand, I was vastly underprepared. So for one, we sold out like half of my titles. We were out by the end of the first day. The second day, we were barely hanging on. The bookseller luckily had a couple. And then the whole time that the signing was open, I was on my feet, walking around, signing books, taking pictures. I did not sit down once within that whole 2 something window. So I think that one, I'm grateful that I wore tennis shoes because if not, my feet would have been dead. Um, Two, I was very like underprepared because, like I said, I tried to stay on the humbler side. I don't be like, "Do you know who I am?" I don't think I'll ever get to that point. By the way, "Do you know who I am?" on famous situations, just because I'm not that person. I've never been that person. Um, but yeah, so it's just yeah. I'm getting to that point, which is kind of crazy for me to think about.
What's funny because I just had the same conversation with Bella J, and she
Yeah,
said she was like, I was looking. I was like, who's that line for? They was like, for you. Where I don't know why y'all don't know the power that y'all carry in y'all pen.
you know what? I feel like it's easy to like when you're in person, it's easier to see it, but when you're online, you just kind of in your own head. You're just like, oh, and then like the algorithms don't make it any better. So let's say your videos only get 300-400 views on average, but then people are like brushing you in person. It's very jarring. It's different. It's a different experience.
But it's amazing to even though it may be like that online, but when people come to see you, your name is in the number. It's in the number. It's always in the number. They just like, who's gonna be there? Oh, Aria Daze. Let me make sure I get over there. Let me make sure I get over there. Let me make sure I got enough coins. Because listen, I be blacking out. I be
Black,
blacking out. Listen, all my little coins be gone. All of it.
book season is so bad. Like I feel like a lot of authors, we probably won't admit this, but literally we sell just to buy more books. Like that, the some of the like a good portion of our budgeting is what we're going to buy because you get most of the time you could just ask your author your peers to be like, "Hey, can you set that aside for me?" and they'll do it. So it just mm-mm.
You know what? I love the joy of standing in the line because I could have very well done some of that. I could have been like, Storm, ask XYZ to do what, I
I
could have
did
very
stand in
well
line to
did
get
that.
some stuff signed though. Yes,
Huh?
I absolutely did. I always stand in line to get some stuff signed.
Right. I will stand in line. I don't try to abuse whatever little privilege I think I might have. I don't. I like the thrill of standing in line, getting there, and be like, can I get a picture? I'd be like, I be fangirling. Y'all may not think so, but I be so fangirling. And my family be like, but they act like they famous. To me, they are because they're not readers, so they don't know.
And that's what it
So
is. The space is very different. Like readers, will show up and show out. Like the support. I hate when people say, "Oh, readers don't support," because they absolutely do. Readers show up and show out, and they come with both what exposure and coins. So you're not getting one or the other. You don't have to pick and choose. They're giving you both. And so for everything else, people, every other interest, is very much, oh, if you're known here, you're known everywhere. But it's different with readership.
I feel like I think and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like sometimes this community, if you're not a reader, we focus on the wrong things. TV, there's a lot of brainwashing going on at TV. You got to see the wig and his foolishness because they on the news, and then we got to look at uh uh whatever it is. Just like basketball, like I told my one cousin, I said, just like you think Steph Curry is famous, I feel like every author that I encounter is famous to me because they have written something that I can connect with. Just like you connect with basketball, I connect with books. And I think he's starting to understand it because I got a hard headed ass cousin. I got a lot of them, but I got this hard headed ass cousin, and he's like, "Why are you? Every time I get in the car, there's a book playing because." And I can't say what I want. I'd be like, "Ninja," because that's what I do. You got to listen to sports. I listen to a book. Now, if you want to listen to something else, drive your own car. But I feel like you guys are celebrities in your own right. Shoot me, but that's how I feel.
We appreciate it because I think a lot of us do not recognize just the strength that we have. Like Tati had a crazy line. Me and Bella were right next to each other the first time. Bella J had a crazy line. Blossom had a crazy line, but I don't think we were expecting it. And it's just because like everyday encounters, no one's stopping you like your Oprah. Every once in a while, you might get recognized, but it's very different for the leadership team.
But I feel like you guys are celebrities, and that's it. That's all I got to say about that. I feel like Forrest Gump, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. All right. Uh, what is one thing that you're always gonna include in your books?
I feel like fat girls. I'm a fat girl. I'm always gonna include a fat girl.
I wouldn't say we're fat. I would say we're healthy.
I don't mind the word fat though. You know what? I think that it's a descriptor where a lot of people will try to conflate fat and ugly, but that's simply just it's not true. You can be both sometimes, but you can also be thin and also bricks. So I mean, it's not a bad word in my mind. I don't mind the word healthy either. It's just whatever you want to say, but I like writing plus size women. It's just something that really soothes my heart. Like I said, when you see a lot of married women, 9 times out of 10, or a lot of plus size women, 9 times out of 10, they already have their partners. They're married. Somebody has already snatched up their big mama. Um, and so I think it's very realistic. It's a realistic portrayal of black women in general, just to be happy and fat and living their lives. And yeah, so that's one thing I definitely will always write. I also probably always write some mental health representation, autism representation. Really like both of those things. They're important to me personally because of the people that I have in my life. So,
Which character is most like you?
ooh, that's a good question. Hmm. Maybe. Hmm. If you read, there's this book I have called Bloom. It is my least read book, but one of the main characters in there, she basically meets her husband very young, and they're not supposed to be together, and it's one of those situations. That is probably who I'm most not like. In the book, she's a genius. That's not why I feel like we're most related. It's because of the way that she makes her decisions. She's very much, this is my life, and this is what I want to do with it. And I'll deal with the consequences however they may come. I think that that is how I have begun to shape myself, or how I began to shape myself several years ago, simply because I've seen people live their lives for the benefit or the joy of other people, and it's never quite worked out for them. Like I feel like they've always had some sort of resentment. So that's probably definitely one of my characters who I'm the most like.
Okay. Uh, with this current political climate, are you worried about your career as an author? You know, them banning books, not putting them in libraries, making it hard for us to get into on shelves, banning intimate acts.
Yes and no. Um, One thing about Black people, we're always gonna persevere.
That
That's just
part.
that's the name of the game. Since the beginning of time, if we haven't done anything else, we have persevered in difficult climates. We have survived it all. And I look back across American history, specifically at Black Americans, and I see that people were coming on top even in the most adversarial conditions. Slavery, Jim Crow times, just anything that you can think of. There were still exceptional Black people, and there will continue to be exceptional Black people. I do not ever foresee that changing. So I think it's wise to be worried about the direction where we're heading in. I do not think that there is anyone that's coming to save us, and that may sound very grim to a lot of people, but that's the reality. I don't think that there's going to be anybody coming to save us. However, I feel like life is what you make of it, and that's something that I truly believe. And that may be because I was born a Black woman. I've gotten this far in life because I've tried. I put effort into it, um, and I don't think that a lot of things happen to Black people just based off of pure luck. That's not really a thing that applies to us. So I think that with that, with knowing the people that I come from, with knowing how my ancestors survived, they persevered, they did everything despite the situations they were handed, and knowing that things don't happen to us per chance, I think that we will be okay in the long run. Do I think it's wise to, start looking at other avenues? Of course. I think it's better to be prepared and not needed than, be completely unprepared, but I'm not super worried about it.
Do you have a favorite book?
I do. It changes from time to time just because I read different things. Let me think. What is my favorite right now? Hmm. I think my favorite right now might be Sight Unseen by Kasha Thompson. Um, it's just something very endearing about that book. I like the reality that both of the characters are living in. They both have very normal jobs. It was just kind of like a slice of life situation. There was some drama, but it wasn't. It's just stuff that normal people go through. I like the anxiety representation. I just like the way that the characters were written. They were very vibrant. So I think that's my favorite right now. Like I said, that does change, so don't always hold me to it because you read new things, your opinions change. But yeah, I really like the way that book was written.
So you mentioned one book didn't get as much love as you would like. Which book was that again?
Oh, that's called Bloom. That was my second book ever published. It is a Candid story between Marvin Rosenblum, who is the CEO of their company in Candid, his wife Winifred. Yeah, it didn't do well. It still doesn't do well. I'm not mad at it though. I'm still really glad that I wrote it. It's a really pretty love story. But
I'm gonna need y'all to go read that book, y'all.
wait,
It's
I feel like
good.
I should
I'm
give a
gonna read it
disclaimer.
too.
It is about a white man, and I feel like that's maybe why I don't get as much love
Because
because it's
what?
my. Yeah, I know it's a white
No,
man.
no, say that again.
Which part? Which part?
What you just said? Because I missed it.
It's a white man.
Oh, so it's IR.
It is IR. That's my only IR book though, and
Well,
so I thought maybe that's why that doesn't get as
okay,
much.
girl, I'm gonna read it because I don't mind IR. I don't mind it. I listen. Big Daddy Pete from J Nell series is my husband. Listen, Big Daddy Pete can get it anytime. He owned all the businesses. He owned all the hotels.
That's that.
Listen, I think. Let me ask you a question about reading diversely.
Mm-hmm.
Every now and then I'll have some thoughts. And I try not to worry the world with Nicole's thoughts because sometimes they be just out of there and sometimes they're not. When When you say, not you, but when we say we need to read diversely, are we speaking diversely across genres, ethnicities, or just period? What is your idea of diversity?
I don't think that you can force people to read genres that they're not interested in. And I say that because I do not do horror, period.
Me
Yeah,
neither.
very, very rare am I ever even interested in horror. It has to be exceptionally well done and just very well talked about. Um, and that's crazy because my birthday is on Halloween, but I don't do horror at all. So for me, I wouldn't be able to read diversity across all genres because as soon as I get a little tingle in my spine, I'm shutting the book. That's a wrap. I'm glad that I came, but I will not be able to finish this. And so I think it's a better expectation to tell people to read outside of their experience, whether that be you reading stories about trans individuals or the LGBTQ community or different ethnicities and nationalities, or even within your own diaspora and reading about Black people who also happen to be Latino. And so there are a lot of different ways to read diversely. It's not terribly difficult to do, because likely, especially in the romance genre, somebody has done this book in several different flavors. So I think that asking people to read different experiences across their chosen genre is not terribly difficult, and that's my definition of reading diversity.
Okay. Because I was thinking about it one day, because we talk about it, and I sometimes think that people really don't understand what reading diversely means, and to me, it may mean something different than it may mean to you. Like for me, it's more so giving authors a chance who may write in a different genre. Someone who, there's certain things I'm just not going to read horror. I don't mind any other uh, uh, genre. I just horror and me and horror is just we not friends. That's not what me. We don't go together at all. We're adversaries. We're enemies to love. We're not even enemies. We're enemies. We're not even enemies to lovers. We're just enemies. And that's fine. But I feel like sometimes when a African American author writes interracial, they shun that because it's a white character. And I feel like if the author black, that story's black.
I do. I agree, but I also want to raise the point of one of the authors that you may have seen floating around TikTok who basically writes like racial fetishization sort of stories. And to that, I would say I completely 100% understand because some things that people think are okay are not okay.
Right. I mean, to me, I feel like when African Americans write other races, they write them with care.
Yes. Well, that's because we've learned how to write whole people and also put ourselves in the shoes of other people. Everybody else didn't have to do that.
And that's the point.
No.
That's the point. I don't feel like they I think they kind of typecast us and just generalize all of us as we're all the same and we're not. And like I was reading The Devil Wears Baccarat where what's his name? I forget what his name is. Not Constantine because that's my man. The first brother, Alexander. He King King. I think her name was Kenya. She was putting this bonnet on her head, and he was like, "Why do you do that?" Because he just didn't understand. He's Russian,
Mm-hmm.
and she explained to him. And so when she became ill, he went and got that bonnet and put it on her head. And he's like, because she's not going to like this. I don't want her hair to be, well, however, I want her hair to be the way that she wants it to be. It was the care in which the author gave and the explanation. Whereas they don't write these little things that matter to us. Putting a bonnet on our head, making sure that we have look that we bathe and we wash our legs and our
with a
backs with a
with
washcloth.
with a
But not
washcloth.
with one, but with two. We don't use the same washcloths for our face with in our bodies. Things like that. So I think I think the disconnect is I don't think they study us enough to write us, and I get frustrated, so I just won't read them.
I So for me, it's because they've never had to. That's just the reality. They've never had to. They don't have to be interested in us. They're not really interested in us outside of the minimal interactions that they may have with us in day to day life. And sometimes that's even rare if you're in a state like Montana or something where it's like 0.6% of the population is black people. Um, so yeah, they've never had to really do any of that. They don't think about those things because I don't want to say that we're like accessories, but we are like accessories to some of them. They don't really see us as whole people. They just kind of see us as very one dimensional. Um, it's very unfortunate, and it makes sense why a lot of black people do not like to read books authored by others. Because it's just the representation is either not there or is very offensive, to where it just does not even feel like any effort was put forth at all. But yeah, I just, like I said, I don't really read a lot of other authored books. I exclusively read black and brown, and really the only ones that I platform are black written books. And that is by design, simply because I don't want to read myself represented that way. I think a lot of books would cast some of the characters that I've written as like the mammy type. Not a fan of that,
Right.
but that's a thing that happens, and so I definitely understand the hesitation, and I think it's valid. And until we're shown something different, like they're making real changes, I don't really see a reason to dibble and dabble over there.
Okay. If you can invite three authors to the Author Hall of Fame, who would they be?
Mm. Beverly Jenkins is definitely one of them. Love Beverly Jenkins. One of the first like series of books that I've started reading when I was younger. My parents were very churchy, so I used to have to take the covers off of them and slip it in like a little Bible cover, so they would just think I was reading Psalms.
Yes.
I was way too smooth for my own good. Let me just say that. Definitely Beverly Jenkins. I would say I don't want to also say Brenda Jackson because I feel like that, but Brenda Jackson, also one of the people that I used to put in Bible covers, and I'm reading Revelations. Um, and then let me think. Hmm. I feel like Octavia Butler, and I feel like a lot of people say Octavia Butler because they think of her as um, this great prophet, but I do think that she took great care to write her characters in a way that made them feel like particularly human. Like they have their faults. Not every thought is good, even though they are the heroine or the protagonist. And I really did appreciate that.
If you could invite five authors, dead or alive, to dinner, who would they be?
Again, Octavia Butler. I feel like those three are definitely going to be there. Um, I would definitely invite Masterpiece. I love Masterpiece. She is just so sweet. She is very good at what she does. She has perfected her craft. Definitely love Masterpiece. And then who else would I invite? Probably Tati Richardson. I love Tati too. Tati is
Listen,
amazing.
Tati is a time.
Tati is a time. I feel like every time that we've been in a room together, which has only happened once so far, but it's been a great time. We've had laughs. We've talked it up. I love Tati. So, yeah.
Okay, I'm writing down a note because I'll be wanting to ask you questions. So because I'm old, I don't forgot that question. So
You be forgetting words and stuff. I'm like, what is the word procurement? Okay.
yeah, girl, child, just know when you get a little older. What are three things you must have in order to write?
Ooh, caffeine. Caffeine for sure. It doesn't matter if I'm working off 2 pumps of sleep and a granola bar. If I got some caffeine in my system, we get something done. Um, I feel like I don't really write well in noise, which is crazy because I have a toddler. So like he'll be running around and yapping, but I put on headphones. I like to be in my own head because I visualize everything. So if I'm trying to visualize and then I hear somebody screaming about apple juice in the background, the idea is gone. So I do prefer quiet. And then the last thing, I would say something to fidget with. I'm very it's a sensory issue, but that's why I keep like nails and I keep gems and stuff on my nails because when I'm writing, I'll take breaks and to keep my wrist and stuff from locking up, I'll like very slowly fidget. So
Okay. What would your readers be shocked to know about you? And I need shocking.
I think the street pharmacist thing is pretty shocking. I don't think anybody ever expects that for me.
No,
Yeah, like
that was shocking.
the street pharmacist thing is definitely shocking. I don't know. I feel like I've lived enough of a life. Maybe that I was emergency medical technician at one point or another. I don't think people expect that of
Aria,
me.
you're not that old.
I told you I have lived a life. But yes, I was an emergency medical technician for one point. I've had a lot of odd jobs. Well, not odd jobs, but I've just had a lot of different career goings and comings. So yeah, definitely those two things. Some people are really like shocked when they find out that I met my husband when we were like 14. They're like, "Girl, that's a long time," but
It is.
yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Um, what genre that you haven't written in that you want to write in?
Ooh, maybe sci-fi dystopian. I'm actually a really big like sci-fi fan. I really love fantasy as well, but it's just something about the dystopian that I really can appreciate, and that's maybe because I'm really good at pattern recognition. So when I see things and I tell people about them, they look at me like there's no way that's gonna happen, but then it does because some people are just able to really catch that quick and know how which direction it's gonna go off in. So maybe definitely sci-fi dystopian. I actually have one that's like half drafted and it's just chilling. Don't know if I'm ever gonna release that. Please don't hold me to that, y'all watching, cause
Don't worry about me. It's Storm. You know that's her. That's her stuff.
but
You know
yeah,
anything sci-fi, anything paranormal, anything fantasy, any of that kind of stuff. You know, see me. Or when you gonna do it? I like the smut.
Storm will definitely get you on your stuff. She want to know everybody project coming out so she can know when to hold you to that.
Listen, she be having notes and all that stuff. I was like, girl, go
Put the
on.
dates on them. She said two four score. You said you was gonna do this. Time is nigh.
Um, what is something that that everybody loves that you hate?
Don't snatch my black card for this. I am not that big of a fan of flats. I know everybody loves flat chicken wings, but
It don't matter to me.
it's not that much meat on them. And if they're overcooked, they're gonna be dry 9 times out of 10.
Facts, facts. But I'm not saying I don't like a flat, but I'm just saying
They're not
it
my
don't matter.
favorite. It's not my favorite. Yeah, no, it's not my favorite.
So mine is I don't like dark meat.
You know, I just started having a recent appreciation for dark meat, and I think it works well in some things. Like if you're grilling for like fajita meat or something, dark meat is great.
I don't like drumsticks or thighs.
Thanksgiving though, I just want to see white meat. Just crazy, but
I
I
rather
get
I rather the breast of everything. I like the dry. I mean, I like it to be juicy, but I prefer the. I don't know. It's maybe it's a
It's the
texture thing.
texture. It's the texture. That's what it is because it's a little. I don't want to say firmer, but it is like I feel like dark meat has a lot of fat, and that can cause it to have like some weird kind of slimy texture issues if people aren't careful with how they cook it. So I get it.
First of all, Shannon says I eat like a preschooler, even though she eats like a toddler. I eat like a preschooler because I don't like nothing. I don't like
Yeah, you don't
salmon.
like fish.
I don't
You
like
don't like
salmon. I don't like
mangoes.
catfish. Mm-mm. I don't. I don't. I don't like wheat bread. Mm-mm.
You know what? I didn't like wheat bread when I was younger because my dad is a vegetarian and he was very, health centric. But as I get older, it's just something about like a turkey sandwich with mayo on wheat. Oh,
Mm-mm.
perfection.
I don't like asparagus.
I don't like asparagus.
Mm-mm.
Not even when it's cooked in like a little butter and like maybe bacon fat, some
Mm-mm.
liver on top.
Mm-mm.
No. Is it
Mm-mm.
the texture? Because it is very fibrous.
Mm-mm. I don't like it. Mm-mm. 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 No. 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 I don't like corned beef.
I
I
don't
don't
like
like.
corned beef.
I don't like pastrami.
I don't like salami. It's just the with the I
I'm
can't
okay with
do it.
salami, but I don't like. Mm-mm, I don't like that.
I
I
can't do
don't like
salami.
scallops.
I like scallops. You know what?
I'm not a.
Can't
I can eat it only if my baby daddy fry them for me. But I'm not a big fan of lobster.
mm, I don't like whole crab. I like crab meat, but if I gotta shuck it, that's what
Oh,
we
baby,
draw.
I'm stuck.
I can't do.
No,
I
no. I don't like. I don't like them little green peas. I'm not a big fan of steak.
Is it because they use?
I'll eat it. I have to really want it. So I may eat steak maybe twice a year, maybe.
I feel like that's bad. I don't like milk though. Like the texture of milk.
I can't have it, and I can't eat eggs.
I can't eat eggs if they're runny. The
I
yolk
can't
has
eat
to be
eggs
good.
at all. It's
That's
a my body say, "Girl, go somewhere, sit down, because we're gonna be over here. Don't you're not going nowhere today."
that's how my husband is though. He don't do eggs at
Mm-mm,
all.
no.
And it looks like, and then what's crazy is like it looks like it bothers him that he can't because he looks interested in a lot of egg dishes, but he just like
Mm-mm.
not happening.
And then I'm realizing I've been having migraines lately, and I've been documenting what I've been eating when I get migraines. Cheese, and
You
I
know why?
love cheese.
It's so salty. Like I really recommend that people look at how much salt is in cheese and get like the reduced sodium because cheese is hella salty. I didn't find that out until I got pregnant with my son, and I was just like tearing cheese up, but my blood pressure was high because it's full of salt.
Why they laughing at us about y'all just eat air then? Because listen, Tasha, I'm not playing with you either. Uh,
First off, I can't even see the comments, which is making me mad because I know they're good. But
right. They's like, out of your diet, out of you diet. Yeah, no, I can't eat none of. You know what else I can't eat? Nuts. Pause.
I'm
Pause.
allergic to nuts.
Pause. I cannot eat cashews, walnuts. I have to be in the mood for peanuts, or it gives me a headache, like a really severe. Because I suffer from migraines. It gives me
That's
really bad headaches.
allergy, Nicole. I'm not gonna lie to you because I'm allergic.
Probably.
I'm
I don't eat
allergic
them
to
though. The only nut I can eat, pause, is pecans.
you like pecan. But that might be an allergy because that sounds like
I can't eat them. Like the other day, I really wanted a Snicker, and I got it. I ate two, three bites, and I was done. I can't eat it. It make my head hurt.
you know what? Now this is probably something that people are gonna be looking at me crazy for. When you ask what's one thing everybody likes that I hate, I do not like candy. I don't like candy at all. Like it's maybe three or four candies that I will eat every once in a while, and when I say every once in a while, every couple of years.
Oh, they put
I
it on me on these comments. Nicole just eat chicken fingers and pretzels. I don't like pretzels that well. Why you bullshitting?
They had to say that. That's crazy work.
Yeah, I can eat chocolate. I just no pretzels. Mm-mm.
I don't like candy. I just and then if stuff is chocolate coated specifically, oh no, I'm not doing that.
So now y'all have learned a lot more about me than I needed y'all to know. But we talk about the things everybody loves that we don't. Uh, uh, what hate to see you coming?
Mm.
I do eat enchiladas and make them really good.
I know my credit card had to see me coming when I booked my trips because I want to over the water. I want drinks included. I want excursions. I love to travel. Like I said, I am definitely an adventurer. My husband, I know it stresses my husband out because he be like, "Girl, just sit down somewhere." But I love adventuring, so I know when my credit card statement come in after I've been traveling, they be like, "Who, geez." I know my agent be puffing a cigarette, like, "Girl."
My tax accountant hate to see me coming because I be coming up with the foolishness. I be like, listen. So, but right here, right here, I got a good excuse.
My dad actually does go to Texas because he's a master tax accountant, and when I tell you that man just be, I be bringing him like just stacks of random that he just be like, "Give me a couple days." Like he's definitely one of those girl dads where he just be like, "Lord Jesus." And recently he was like, "Girl, you're gonna have to start breaking this down every quarter." He said, "Because this is stressing me."
But you know what? That's what my accountant tells me. I need to break it down by quarter. Because I will buy a flight in a minute. I'll be outside. I just bought a ticket today.
That's
Go
what I'm
figure.
saying. Like I just
It
paid
was
for
it was
my.
268. Why would I not fly from here to Atlanta and it's 268?
That's a good. You know what I don't like when I see domestic flights for $500 and $600. Who do y'all think y'all are charging that much?
Listen, I'm
It's
trying to get
insane.
all the tickets we can before they say we can't fly nowhere.
Listen, I will take a boat, a moat, whatever I need to do to get about that bad boy, about this bad boy if it comes to that. Because there's nothing good from saying you can't go nowhere else. Nothing good ever comes from
Well,
that.
that's what your president is saying. He's saying that
Who's who's president?
y'all president, because he ain't
Who's
mine.
y'all?
That man in at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
That man is
He
mm-mm.
is signing a bill, not a bill, a what is it? What is this? Whatever he be signing,
President executive order.
executive order stating that immigrants cannot travel in or out of the country, and if we, because he's not going to do it to them, but if we travel out the country, we may not be able to get back in.
Of course he is. Of course he is. You
And
know,
they just do it.
I'm never shocked, but what is most shocking is that people will still continue to cheer this on because they do not understand that it will eventually harm them. And for me, it's just like, wow, y'all really do not be using that brain at all. It's just up there, just resting
And
perpetually.
another thing that, and I know this is probably not the time, but because you guys are here with me, if your parents have property and they pass away, you need to put their property in a trust right now, because he's stating that you cannot inherit your parents' property.
Which is crazy because that's the only reason he's anything.
Exactly, but he don't care because he already got it. He don't want us to have it.
Well, that's just with like most things. He wants to roll back asbestos protection. He wants to roll back women's rights and healthcare and just all of these things. And that's because he's lived through a time where people had access to that. He's done with his life. He's not going to be here maybe longer than 10, 12 years, and
I,
that's
I
being
hope
very
I hope it's
generous.
6 more months because I'm sick of them. I'm sick of
You know the old evil ones live forever.
them.
You be holding your breath waiting on them to pass away. It's like looking at a cucumber decompose in slow motion. You be like, oh my god, you're still here.
All I'm saying is this is what whoever did not vote and whoever voted for that is this is what you got. So, anywho, I have two more questions,
Okay.
two more questions, and another thing. Describe yourself in one word.
Determined, resolute.
I like that. I was gonna say multifaceted.
I think I am very multifaceted. I feel like that's the obvious answer, though. Everybody wants to be interesting.
But they're not.
Nicole, you can't say this, folks.
I didn't say who. I didn't say not everybody. There's a lot of people that want to be that, but they're not. It's the truth. Why can't you say that?
That hurts people.
Am I being shady?
That hurts people's
Was that
feelings.
shady?
Was that shady? You tell me.
I don't think that was shade. I think that's the truth. Everybody's not multifaceted. And this is my word for you. So
yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm determined. I think that given the way that my life started out and where I'm at now, I'm doing pretty good.
I think you're doing fabulous. And I think that you are probably one of the more interesting people. And I've interviewed a lot of people, and a lot of the authors that I've interviewed, and I will say this, are very interesting. But you're probably one of the most interesting people that I've interviewed. Not because we're having this conversation, it's because of your writing. I love it. I love it. I love your views, how you incorporate your views in your writing. I love how you create characters who are not the norm, and they're beautiful, they're sexy, they get bust down, back broke, bent out of shape 2, 3, 7 times. Why they choosing differently or not? I love that. So you're probably one of the more the not the most, but one of the more interesting persons that I've interviewed. And I don't mind saying that. I mean, I've met a lot of interesting people, but yeah. Um, where do you see Aria Daze in 5 years?
That is a great question. And recently I asked myself that. I said, okay, so this is what I want to do. I think that this is the career that I am 100% invested in. What do I want to do with myself? And my goal ultimately is to become a full-time writer by about 2 more years from now. I'm going to give myself enough time to pay off whatever I need to pay off and be comfortable and be able to live off of my author salary. And then in 5 years, my goal is to open a Black-owned bookstore in my city, simply because we don't have a lot of them. And up top, I want it to be a swingers club because we don't have a lot of those that are Black-owned either. Actually, we don't have any of those that are Black-owned.
A what kind of club?
A swingers club.
So you and Storm be up here concocting shit.
You know what? Yes. But you know what? Storm's going to have Chicago, I'll have St. Louis. So then you got a nice 4-hour distance. You can switch it up on the weekend.
I mean, I'm just saying, am I invited? Because, I'm a voyeur. I like to see.
Yes. And see, this is the idea I had. I want to have like a view window where it's almost like a movie theater type screen where you can see through. That I would like.
Okay, so Tasha, she said now Nicole will be sliding down the walls. And I probably will slide down some walls, but I also probably might slide onto something. So who knows? Who knows?
You have options. You have options.
Listen, I might slide onto something.
Yeah, so that's why
I have an alter ego, right?
Do you really?
I do.
You have a name? A different
I
name?
do.
Okay, what's the name? What's the alias?
Chocolate.
Okay, yes.
Shaki be with the shits.
I
Nicole,
got
this is Nicole right now. I'm
Nicole is very
full-time into
sensible. I
her.
love Nicole.
Yeah. But Shakalanta, she a wild card.
But
And when you see Shaki, just mind your business.
valid.
I'm
Valid.
just saying. She be
I feel
outside.
like
She be
I feel
outside.
like this is my alter ego. It's not too far off from who I really am as a person, but it's a little more tame because in real life I just say whatever.
Yeah. Shakalanta is she's Shaki. Just call her Shaki.
I can't wait to meet her. I'm sure she's gonna be a time.
Oh, she's time. She's the time. I think Storm and Shannon got just a small glimpse. Just she might have been in Tulsa. Just
I'm
just a
not
little.
surprised. I'm not
Just
surprised.
a
I feel
little.
like yeah, I feel like Storm fosters an environment for everybody to shoot up. Because
No,
I don't know,
just
just a little bit.
she was she just dipped her pinky toe out.
Oh,
She didn't really make a whole appearance, but she dipped her pinky toe out just to see, just to test the environment. Hmm. I'll send you her name later, Tasha. I'll spell it to you later because it's a long name, and I gotta write it out, girl, because I'd be forgetting how to spell her name. But Shakalanta, I've been had that name since I was 16.
you know what? That's dedication, though. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So my me and my best friend, we anytime we go out of town, she'll be like, "Okay, Shaki, you ready to go?" Yeah, Penelope. Her name is Penelope Aloysius, and I'm Shakalanda.
Do y'all got matching feather boas? If
Mm,
y'all do, I'm not judging, but I feel like that would.
mm-mm. No, because she know what it is. She know what it is. Why is she my best friend?
Everybody needs a friend like that.
Ah, Shakalanda be making appearances. So yeah. Hmm. All right. Blank is life.
Mm.
Anything at all.
Experience is life. I feel like a lot of people think life is just like paying bills and being a good Samaritan, but I think that everybody need to go out, shake their ass a couple times, have that experience. But it is experience is what you think about when you're too old to do all of those things. You look back and you reflect on what you've done and what you haven't done and what you wish you did differently. So I definitely think experience is life.
Are there any regrets?
I can't say that there are. I think I wish that I would have done things maybe slightly different, but I don't regret them. I wish I would have moved more intention. That's probably one thing I wish I would have moved with. But no, not really. I think everything happens for whatever reason that it happens. And each time, even if it's something that really brings you down, it's still a learning experience.
Do I have any regrets? I think I have a few, but yeah, I also am a component of experience and consequences teaches you things. So I wouldn't say it's a regret, but I will say it. I've gotten a lot of teaching uh, who make me who I am today.
I
So
feel
I'm
like
not
that.
I'm not saying that I do have some small regrets. Um, Trusting every because I used to be very trusting, and I got myself into a situation where I trusted somebody and they just totally screwed me. But that taught me that I have to rely on myself more, and that I can and I have to investigate everything thoroughly prior to going. But this is when I was younger. Um, so I have small regrets, not many, but I have some. But I also know that the lessons behind those regrets are making me who I am today.
Would you change anything? If you could go back and change it, would you change it?
No, no. If I changed the one thing that I wished I would have changed, my kids would not be here.
That's valid.
My kids would not be here, and I think they're supposed to be here. They're supposed to be in my life, and I'm supposed to be in theirs. Um, that that would probably be the one. If I had to change something, that would have been it. But it would change the whole trajectory of my life. And I think my kids are supposed to be here. My granddaughter is supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be Nana. I'm supposed to be Mama, and teaching the lessons that I'm teaching.
I
But
think that
if I could have changed they daddy, yeah, absolutely.
it's always a man ruining something. It's always a
It's
man
not so
ruining
much
something.
that. I just think that I think that I wish my kids had a better experience with their father.
I think that's just a
That
part of motherhood in general. Like, I don't
right,
think that, anything that, I think that's just a part of motherhood. You always want your kids to have better
right.
than what you feel like, you know.
And that's the only thing that I would change. I would not change how I treated my parents because I think I did what I was supposed to do with my mother. I think she passed on knowing that. I would not change anything with my father, even though he can work the nerve. Baby, when I say tap dance, he could tap dance on them. But that I am a daddy's girl, so he's gonna get whatever his heart desires. I would not change the family that I come from. The only thing I would change is my kid's father, and not that he's not that he is this terrible person. I feel like I would love for them to have a stronger father figure in their lives. That's the only thing I would change.
That is completely understandable. Like I said, I think that that's just the plight of motherhood. I look at stuff every day and be like, man, I wish this would have been a little bit different for him, you know. And he's only been here 4 years. So I can't
Yeah.
imagine, 20, 30 years of just experiencing day in and day out. You get to see a lot. And watching somebody grow up is it's probably one of the most nuanced and unique things that a human being can ever experience is raising another human being.
Exactly. Like my daughter is turning 40 and my son just turned 30. So I think by society standards, they're doing good. I mean, I it's just the struggle that we have to get there to get there. Now, my daughter has a better relationship with her father. My son does not. And being a young boy, well, he's not. He's 30. So being a young man in this society, thank God for my father, because if not, then we would be screwed.
Yeah, and it's a little harder for men and boys, especially because once they get it step into that same age range, they say, "Wow, this would have been so easy had you done X, Y, and Z. Why did like?" It's a lot more questions about choices that were made. So I understand.
Hmm. So that's it. That's my only that's my only thing. I just wish they had a different male parent, and they can feel that way about me. I don't know, but you stuck with me. um, last question, and it's not a question. Well, no, my pen is
Unique. I think you're always going to get something different. Nothing's going to be the same. I try not to write the same stories over and over again. I get bored very easy. So I say my pen is unique.
okay. And what's your advice to authors who want to come into this space, or older authors who are maybe a little bit stagnant?
For older authors, I would definitely say take a break. That's the best advice I can give anybody who's been doing this a long time, who may feel worn out, is that you need, like I said, you need to experience life. This is something. It's like life can inspire you to go in so many different directions with your writing. When I feel like that my hands are about to fall off, my eyes about to roll out of my head, I leave. I go walk somewhere. I about to get some food. I go and people watch. I just feel like that's something that is 100% necessary to creativity is breaks. And just, having the grace for yourself in general. For people wanting to come into the game, I definitely recommend probably building your community and also figuring out what it is you want out of this. If you want to be here for the money, that's something that people do. I'm not knocking it. At the end of the day, everybody has to eat, and we need money to do it. However, you may not get as far as somebody who wants to do this for the passion, or they want to change something, or they want to see themselves represented in more mainstream media. So I just think that it's important to figure out what you're gonna do and what your long term goals are here, and to build a community around it that is gonna suit what you need for that.
There go them gems. I love it. I love it. I love it. Ready to pop your shit, ma'am?
Yeah.
Where you gonna be in the rest of 2025?
So 2025, I only have one more event, and that is with the Boozy Book Tour. We will be in Chicago. We will be in, I think it's Sip and Savor on 79th Street. I'm really, really excited. So that will be my last event of this year. Next year, I got a couple things planned. I got another Boozy Book Tour in Vegas. I'll be in Black Women's Book Fest. I got some other unannounced things that are coming up. So I'm so excited to see you guys.
And do you have any more projects coming out this year?
I do. Okay, so listen. I feel like I make publishing schedules, and like in my mind I'm like, yes, this is perfect. I'm definitely gonna stick to this. But that's not really what happens. So usually I get ideas and I write them down and I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna just sit on it. And then the more I look at it, the more I'm like, ooh, maybe. So I'll have at least 2 more novellas coming out this year. I'm not gonna say the names or anything because those are subject to change, but I will have 2 more novellas coming out this year. And then next year will be the follow up to Group Trip and the second book in the Happy Harlot series.
Okay, okay. And then where can the people find you?
I am on TikTok at the Smart at the Smut Sorceress. I am also on IG and Threads at Aria Daze Rights.
Okay, you have a website?
I do have a website. It's www.dazedreamers.com.
And where do you want your support from? Do you prefer them to go to Amazon, or do you want them to come to your website? Where do you want them to buy your books?
I want you to do whatever makes your wallet happy. Book reading is expensive. I know it's expensive because I also do it. Like I
What's
said,
your preference, ma'am?
I mean, I want the support regardless, so I'm not gonna make you choose. Websites is always nice because I don't have to pay PayPal and that's it. I only gotta pay my payment processor. But if KU is what is in your budget, read me on KU. I don't mind. I like the page reads. It made me feel good when I hit 500,000 page reads for a month.
I see. So y'all make sure y'all go check her out. Just remember, I am in the middle of what's the name? What's the name of that book? What's the name of the book? The one I just told you. Huh?
Bury the Hatchet.
Yeah, Bury the Hatchet. I'm there. I'm 50% in. Not Nate, Nat, and goddamn Dre. Why he over there unaliving people everywhere, and she just becoming immune to it.
What's crazy is that is touched on the truth and consequences, and basically he gets scolded for it, but he's like, "Well, I just feel like she should be used to." I'm looking at him like, "What?"
But the daddy was a daddy. I know the daddy wasn't shocked.
No, the daddy knew.
No, I know the daddy wasn't shocked that he cut up at that dinner like that.
You know what? I think he was, but not because he didn't think that he was capable of, unaliving a person, just because he didn't think he would see it in real time, like in a casual setting.
So I don't know if you can answer this question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the father regretted this arranged marriage?
I think that that is again another dual side question. I think maybe he regretted the way that he went about it, but I don't think he regretted, the outcome. He still needed to get his daughter married, and his family needed that business line. So I don't think he regretted the outcome. I think he probably regretted the way that he married her off with no information. There's very little clarity about what she was going into. And it's important to know who your husband is and to find out, after you already said I do, and then to find out that there's no way, no chance of divorce is even crazier. So,
Okay. I say you guys need to go read that book. If y'all have not read Human Resources, I'm going to recommend that you guys go read it. That is a personal favorite. That's a personal favorite. Why I'm over here rubbing this paper, I don't know. Go read Human Resources. Big Dim. Big Dim was laying it down. Um, Big Dim had to show her what it was about. He said, "I might be short, but I'm ready." And that he did. Um, but if y'all want to come slide down some walls with me, y'all come on. Come on, because I just slid down a wall of seven in this book. Bury the Hatchet. Come on. It's two books already. So we have Bury the Hatchet and then Truth and Consequences right after that, right? And then there's going to be a third book, right?
yes, the third book, actually, I can tell you guys the title is going to be The Pursuit of Liberty. And that is kind of like a hint in itself. But
Okay. Because I want to know more, but I'll wait. All right. Let me pop my shit real quick. We're going to make this real quick. We're going to make this real quick. So, y'all, season 1 of Pop Your Shit is ending. Y'all happy? Y'all sick of me yet? Season 1 is ending on Monday. So tomorrow I have Author's Son. On Sunday I have narrator D. Lewis. And then on Saturday I have Author's Son. Sunday I have D. Lewis. And then on Monday I have author C.M. Campbell. That is my last 3 interviews for season 1. Season 2 will begin on Sunday, September 21st. Okay? Just know that I'm going down from 3 to 4 interviews a week to only 2. Because I have other responsibilities that I have to adhere to. Make sure that you follow me on Instagram, Threads, Substack, Blue Sky, Facebook, and YouTube. Make sure that you guys like and subscribe to all of them, but especially YouTube. And for those that are liked and that have liked and subscribed to YouTube, thank you. This interview will be in its entirety will be over on YouTube this weekend. I put up 4 videos yesterday. I'm going to put up 4 videos tonight, and the remaining 2. I have 1 more video. Your video will go up probably tomorrow. And all videos will be up by the end of this season. You guys know I have a PR company, the Booked and Busy PR management company, marketing company. I do PR, I do marketing plans, I do art teams, and I do street teams. If you're looking for beta readers, I can find some beta readers too. Okay? So you can email me at bookedandbusy@gmail.com, or you can schedule a consult with me via my website, or just hit me with a quick DM and we can talk about it. But you can always email me at bookedandbusy. That's right here at gmail.com. Events that Nicole will be attending. Keyword is Nicole. I will be at the Booked and Busy, but I can't talk. I'm sounding like Toya. Listen, I will be at the Woozy Book Tour, Chicago. I will be podcasting live there. October 17th through the 19th. Shakwalaja will probably be making some appearances because some of the events that Shannon and Storm have planned for us, I'm going to be out there cutting up. Just mind your business. Okay? When you see me outside of Boozy Book Tour stuff. I will be Boozy Book Tour Las Vegas, February 27th through March 1st. I will be podcasting live there as well. Again, Nicole will be doing the tour. Shakwalaja will be doing everything else. Mind your business. I will be hosting the Cali Converse Denim Author Takeover in Los Angeles, California, February 24th, 25th, 2026. A time will be had. Make sure that if you want to come to the Los Angeles area or you live in the area, make sure that you get your tickets. I believe her tickets and registration will be going up very soon. That is powered by author Shirley P. I have my own event that I'm doing. It's a Napa Book and Wine Tour. We have a 3-day event. It will be Friday will be a tour of Oakland, San Francisco. We are going to one of the oldest Black-owned bookstores in the country, which is Marcus Bookstores. And then Saturday we'll be doing the countryside of Napa. Trust me, we will be drinking. And then Saturday night is a game night. It is the Jersey and Jordan's game night. Lots of prizes. Authors, if you're interested in donating books for some prizes, hit me up in my DMs or in my email. Sunday will be brunch and downtown Napa, and we will be tasting at Brown Estates, which is the only Black-owned winery in Napa. So we will be doing that. There's a Black-owned wine store, and we will be visiting that, and everything else is within walking distance. So if you like jam cellars and wine like that, we'll be in the area. Businesses I support: Black Girl Tired Book Talk, Storm's podcast. Storm has so many amazing things going on. Y'all need to make sure y'all following her because she is taking us along for the ride. So make sure that you are following all her social platforms, her Substack, her IG, YouTube for sure, TikTok, I don't think she's on Facebook like that. Instagram.
Yes.
But I don't think she on there by her name.
Yeah.
She on there by her name. I don't think she be post. I mean, I know the Boozy Book Tour stuff is on Facebook, so y'all make sure y'all follow her. The Literary DFW. If y'all looking to get y'all books in an online bookstore, Shannon is your girl. Hit her up in her DM. If you're looking to get your books in her Spinning Night with a Book box, hit her up in her DMs. It's the Literary DFW via I Read Books or the Literary DFW. Either site, I'm sure she will take your calls or your inquiries in her DMs. Shannon also does author merch, cover designs, candles, T-shirts, whatever. She know how to do it. Call it. If you're looking to get your teas, if you're looking for teas, make your characters into teas to put them in your book boxes, the Urban Tea Room. Let me tell you something about Natalie. Them teas are good. I'm just trying to tell you something. I'm trying to tell you what I know. I'm trying to tell you what I know. Those teas are so good. They're loose leaf teas, and they are so good. And I'm a big component of putting sugar in my teas. You don't need much sugar at all. Go, honey, and you go on about your day. If you're looking for cupcakes and cookies, the Rita Baker, Erica, E-Sweets. When I tell you those cookies are to die for, those cake jars are to die for, make sure that you follow E-Sweets. All of these businesses are in my bio, in my link tree.
And what's the name? Erica ships too.
Yeah, she ships, and them cookies are good, and they come So soft and buttery and the right amount of sugar. Oh my God, it's so good. If you're looking to get your book sprayed, um, Jess, the Bibliophile Boutique, those covers are gorgeous. Those book edges are gorgeous. She knows what she's doing. So if you're trying to do special editions, if you're looking for someone who does cover design, she also has she does marketing, PR, and art and street teams. Jess is your girl, so make sure you follow her. And she has an event coming up. I think it's called Faye in the A. Y'all better go listen. Y'all said y'all wanted some different kind of events. They're giving it to you. Get to buying these tickets. If you're looking for a wonderful editor, a beautiful editor, marked by Tylee, when I tell you she be doing the Lord's work. She's not playing no games. Make sure y'all go support Tylee. Last one, if you're looking for a book club, okay? If you're looking for a book club with no drama, the books we love to discuss, girls. Let me tell you something about them. The only rules are no drama, and you must love Black authored books. Because they're going to read them all. Go on over there. They'll welcome you with open arms. All these links are in my bio, in my link tree. Make sure you click on them. They have a Geneva. I have Sharice Cars. She has a Geneva. A. Lewis has a Geneva. So if you're looking for first dibs on what they have going on, make sure that you follow their Geneva. Okay? That's it for me today. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I've been going to get you on for forever.
Yeah, I was excited. This was fun.
You know what? We think so similarly, but I love the way your mind works. I love the way your mind works, man. I do, I do, I do. So I will be seeing you in Chicago.
I know. I feel like it's coming up so fast because I looked up and I was like, "Ooh, it's almost July."
But no, it is almost July, but you know they October.
Yeah, I know, but I got well for artists, we gotta order books, and then Amazon be playing with us, so we gotta start like 2 months ahead of time to get
Are you
everything.
doing pre-orders?
I might
Because
open
it's
up.
a few books I need to get. Like I got well, I got 3 books. I
Mm.
think I need to get a few more books. I'm trying to own your catalog.
See, that's difficult to do. I'm gonna try. I'm probably will. I probably will open pre-orders though, simply because I don't want to have a situation like last time. I only had 100 copies of Group Trip, and by some miracle of whoever, we barely made it through Black Romance Book Festival. We got like 20 copies left, so I may open pre-orders just to make sure that I have enough for everybody.
I need that. I need that in my life.
You want me to set you on the side?
Yes, ma'am. I do. I need that in my life. So make sure that if you're going to any of these events, you guys check with the authors, see if they got pre-orders. Make sure you guys get your pre-orders because we don't want them to have any. We want them to sell out. Okay. Make sure that they're selling out. If you guys go to any events and you see them, and you can afford to do so, buy these books, y'all. Stop playing. I do. I do. I be buying the books. I be blacking out. I do. Wait a minute, because let me tell you something. I went to the 4Bs.
See, I wanted to go so bad, and it looked like it. I always have FOMO. It don't matter how many book events I go to a year. I be like, man, I should have bought.
I lost my mind.
How many books did you bring home? Ooh,
Okay, okay. So in fairness, I bought books for my birthday giveaway.
okay.
So I might have bought 30 books for my birthday giveaway. I I did purchase Storm a few books. It wasn't a whole lot. Maybe I mean, I'll give you send you Storm maybe 5 or 6. But I had 2 carts full of books.
That's a small library.
Um, I think I'm like 100 and maybe 100 books off from having 1,000.
I love that. That is like my dream. Like I want to build a manor. I want to have fruit trees surrounding it, and I want a personal library.
Yeah, I want to. Okay, so this is my dream. My dream is to create a bigger room, and I want a library just full of African American literature. I don't care if it's historical. I don't care if it is horror. I don't care what it is. I want it all in my dream house, one level. But I just need my own reading room. This room is so small, and I use it for my office. I don't want no desk in there. I just want it to be a reading room. And I just want to go in there and just be lost.
That's what I would like. With like some good, but like with some good comfy lounge chairs, like a chase and some big window. Oh,
Listen, and a fireplace. And a fireplace. It gotta
and a
have one.
fireplace
It gotta have a fireplace.
but you gotta have a wine cooler. It has to be separate from your
It do. It do.
but it has
And
to
it
have
gotta
like
have
a.
wait a minute, because I'm a bartender. I don't mind even putting a bar in there.
I would like a bar, like off to the side of the fireplace, so you could just kind of.
Get your 2 fingers of whiskey.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Watch the firecracker with cracker. Jesus Christ, the firecracker with your open book. Oh yeah.
I don't want no TV in there. I don't want none of that in there.
I don't like TVs in reading spaces. Controversial. I don't really watch TV like that anyway. I think it's maybe a couple shows that catch my interest every once in a while, but I'm just not a TV person.
I don't. I don't even watch TV like that. I like when Power comes out. I'll probably watch Power because I'm already invested. All the Queen's Men when they come out because I'm already invested. But other than that, I don't. I don't watch a lot of TV, and I pay for it. Like I watch it every day, and we don't.
We do the same thing. We got so many subscriptions. The only reason we have them though is for our son because he's like busy and he likes having stuff on in the background. But I think I watched Abbott Elementary, The Serpent Queen, and then well, I was watching The Witcher, but now that they then got rid of my man's, I don't know. We'll see.
I think what I'm going to keep is my Netflix. I have Netflix, BT Plus. When Power goes off and BMF goes off, Stars, I'm going to end my Stars subscription. I have Hulu. Why I got Hulu, I don't know, but I got it. Peacock. Why I got it, I don't know. I
At
don't
least,
even like.
but you know what I respect about Peacock? They're only $5 a month.
I don't.
I,
I don't need it because I
that's
don't
true.
watch it. Why am I giving you $5 for what? Because I don't watch it.
You know, I just canceled a gym membership that I signed up for like probably 10 years ago. Quite literally, they was just getting that little 25 off my top.
They done made a whole couple thousand, some thousands off of you.
I was so ashamed.
Right. Like, I got one. I'm about to cancel mine.
Cause I ain't going to y'all gym. I don't know why I even play with my. Well, when I was younger, I did, but I got too much going on.
Mm-mm. 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 I got a whole gym in this house. And why am I paying for a gym membership? I don't even go to the gym in my house.
My job pays for my own. So I have 2 gym memberships. I had one that I was paying for out of pocket, and then my job pays for one.
This, I got weights. I got a walk. I got a treadmill. I got a stepper. I don't know why I need it. So, but anyway, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I
I'll
had a
see
great
you in Chicago. I had a great time too. Thank you so much. And we'll see you in Chicago. In Vegas, we're going to have a time.
Vegas. I already got hairstyles and everything picked out for Vegas. I'm so excited for Vegas.
Listen, Shock Belanjo will be working, but after, I'm just saying she might show up to the meet and greet and the movie night. And
well, it's the pajama party, so I would expect her to be there. She gotta be. She wearing silk. She's doing lace. Like what? Like what?
I don't know, because hopefully I have another little situation, because I'm gonna have to let this little situation go. My little thing is not thing enough.
He didn't make it past his 90 days.
He's something to do.
Sometimes that's all you can hope for. I hate saying it like that, but
He's something to
some
do.
of them do not be personality hires.
It's not that. It's just he ain't serious.
Oh.
So you something to do until I do something different. Right?
What they say? Don't let your boyfriend stop you from finding yourself.
But you know what? I'm just saying. I was supposed to be in Chicago, meet a few people. So we gonna see what's gonna happen in Chicago.
Chicago's gonna be fun though. I can't wait.
I'm not gonna bring out chocolate too much. Cause I want to scare
I don't know. We
somebody.
supposed to have brunch and all kind of stuff, and you know how they get you.
Listen, but when the whiskey, what are we doing? The whiskey brunch?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she might make an appearance. Oh, Jesus. I don't want that for them.
Cause toast of them drinks was strong. Mm-hmm.
Where did you get your drink from? Us or from them?
From y'all, I had. Well, who did I have make me a drink? I think Tylee made me one at first, which was a mistake because it really. And then Storm made me another. I was like, oh.
I don't know what Storm Heavy Headed ass was doing, but Tiny ass her drinks sneak up on you. Oh, I was a little bent.
Yeah, at first I was like, oh, this tastes like juice. This cool. Then about 10 minutes past, I said, oh.
Oh. Oh. Yeah, Tiny's a little lethal. So